Hello everyone, this is Dr. Santosh. Today we will be talking about proline metabolism, a very interesting type of metabolism called proline metabolism. So in proline metabolism we will talk about, first we will mainly talk about catabolism, and then we will talk about metabolism, anabolism. We will talk about anabolism. Anabolism means synthesis of proline. So in actually the catabolism of the proline is very important pathway. It has very high significance. So proline catabolism has very high significance. Why? Because when this proline catabolism is involved in apoptosis apoptosis, and proline catabolism is involved in shuttle mechanism of reducing equivalent. And proline catabolism is also involved in energy and gluconeogenesis. So in this lecture, we will try to answer few questions. We will try to answer how this proline catabolism will produce energy. First question. Second question, how does this proline catabolism produce glucose? And then how does this proline catabolism involve in apoptosis? Third question, and how does this proline catabolism cause shuttle system, is involved in shuttle system? So fourth question, so how it is actually this proline transport reducing equivalent H from NADPH from cytosol to mitochondria this reducing equivalent from cytosol to mitochondria, and where this reducing equivalent electron is utilized to produce energy. So we will talk about all these four questions. First, how does this proline catabolism is involved in production of energy? How this proline is involved in production of glucose, and then apoptosis involved in apoptosis, and then reducing shuttle of reducing equivalent. Actually, proline catabolism is very important catabolism and very unique type of catabolism. We will see a very unique type of catabolism, and enzyme of this proline catabolism is adhered to inner mitochondrial membrane. So this is a very unique type of catabolism of amino acid. And proline, we know proline is second abundant amino acid in collagen, and collagen is the most abundant protein in our body. In that way, proline actually is uh, in our body is present in fairly high amount. So proline, that is why proline is used for this all purpose. And proline can, because it is a non-essential amino acid, it can be synthesized in our body. Now let's talk first about how this proline join Krebs cycle to form glucose. Let's see this. We already have done this all amino acids. How these all amino acid form pyruvate, and pyruvate to oxaloacetate, and ultimately to glucose. Now we will talk here about how this 5 amino acid, here 6 amino acid, you can see 6 amino acids are here. Here 5 amino acid will form alpha ketoglutarate, will join this Krebs cycle as alpha ketoglutarate, and this alpha ketoglutarate will ultimately be converted into glucose. Alpha ketoglutarate will ultimately be converted into glucose during prolonged fasting condition, because amino acid catabolism always occur during prolonged fasting condition. There are other conditions as well, but we stick to prolonged fasting condition, because during prolonged fasting condition only gluconeogenesis will occur, and this, in order to feed this gluconeogenesis, amino acid catabolism occur. So purpose of amino acid catabolism is to feed the gluconeogenesis here. Now see, this glutamine and glutamate, we can understand how this glutamine and glutamate will form alpha ketoglutarate, because they are very similar, only difference is amino group. Two more amino group, this is amide of this glutamine, is amide of glutamate, and when you add amino group to this glutarate, it will form glutamate. When you add one more amino group to glutamate, it will form glutamine. So reversal reaction will produce alpha ketoglutarate. But the reaction, we will have to understand the reaction, how this arginine, proline and histidine produce alpha ketoglutarate. And luckily these all amino acid, proline, histidine and arginine, they all three amino acid will produce an intermediate called glutarate, glutamate semialdehyde. This glutamate is semialdehyde. This glutamate semialdehyde will produce glutamate, and glutamate will produce this. So this is how these all amino acids produce alpha ketoglutarate. And let me talk first about proline. So proline is, and one more important thing is, Krebs cycle during prolonged fasting condition is a broken cycle. It seems to be a broken because oxaloacetate does not convert into alpha ketoglutarate. The cycle goes like this only, straight. Now let's talk about proline catabolism. Actually, proline catabolism, if you can see, there are multiple steps. Scary. You may feel it is scary, but it's proline catabolism is the one of the simplest amino acid catabolism you can see. Just you need to understand the structure of proline. A proline structure, if you can see it seems very similar to P. It seems very similar to P. If you can imagine, it seems very similar to P. Here NH group. NH here. You put here C. Put here C. Put here C. Put here C. That's the proline. And here carboxy group. That's the proline. So proline is very easy. Structure of proline is easy to understand. It's P. Now what will happen? The first step, proline catabolism, proline dehydrogenase reaction will catalyze the product. First step of catabolism of proline. So in first step there will be insertion of double bond. You can see in this P there will be insertion of double bond here. You can see the insertion of double bond. And this proline will convert into pyrroline 5-carboxylate. Pyrroline 5-carboxylate, because see, pentane ring, any pentane ring with double bond and cyclopentane ring with double bond, and this nitrogen group is called pyrrole group. This heterocyclic pentane with one nitrogen pyrrole group, and this is called pyrroline rings. That is what pyrroline. So proline will convert into pyrroline 5-carboxylate. In short, you can remember as P5C. P5C. It's easy to remember P5C. Pro will convert into P5C through the action of this enzyme called proline dehydrogenase. Now second reaction, forget about this all step. First let me talk about this proline P5C, pyrroline 5-carboxylate will convert into glutamate through the second step. Because the enzyme itself is pyrroline 5-carboxylate dehydrogenase. You can see the removal of proton is there, and you can see here during proline catabolism you can see the release of electrons is happening. So there is production of NADH, and here you can see there is production of coenzyme QH2. So that is why this proline catabolism will also produce energy. In addition to production of glucose, it also produces energy. Now this produced glutamate. This is glutamate. Now glutamate will enter Krebs cycle as alpha ketoglutarate, and in Krebs cycle it will produce glucose. So this is how this proline, we have already answered 2 questions. This is how proline produce energy. Now you can see production of energy, and here the proline will produce NADH. One NADH is equivalent to 2.5 ATP, and this process of catabolism is happening inside mitochondria. And see, this is very important enzyme. The first enzyme, this is very important enzyme. We will talk a lot. We will talk about the significance of this enzyme. There is a lot more significance of this enzyme in addition to catabolism of this proline. This very enzyme is present in the inner mitochondrial membrane. Is attached to the inner mitochondrial membrane. And the reaction that happens here in matrix, mitochondrial matrix, proline, this proline will convert into P5C, pyrroline 5-phosphate, 1 pyrroline 5-phosphate here. So what will happen is this proline, so it's easy to remember structure. P proline is like P. This P will convert into P5C here, and in this conversion there will be release of electron. So this electron will be captured by this enzyme, and this electron will be transferred to the coenzyme Q, which is part of electron transport chain. This coenzyme Q, it will transfer this electron to coenzyme Q, which is part of electron transport chain. Now this, after this enzyme transfers this electron to coenzyme Q, this coenzyme Q will transfer electron to complex 2. Now this 2 complex 2 cytochrome C, and then cytochrome C to complex 4. Now there will be, ultimately there will be production of ATP, 1.5 ATP, 1.5 ATP per 2 electron, and ultimately the electron will move to oxygen. So oxygen, one oxygen will accept 2 electron from this, and this will draw 2 proton, and this will form water. This is how this whole process will happen. The process, though it seems simple, but it is linked to, this very reaction is very tightly linked to electron transport chain of mitochondria, and that is how it will produce H2 ultimately. Ultimate acceptor of electron is water, and this very mechanism we will see it is involved in apoptosis also. We will see how, but right now we are focusing on this reaction. Right now just understand this mechanism of electron transport and production of this ATP. So this first step, this is very tightly linked to electron transport chain, and this is how it will produce energy. This is how it will produce energy. Directly electron will be transferred to coenzyme Q. Coenzyme Q ultimately through electron transport chain, it will produce ATP through ATP synthase. Per coenzyme Q, there is production of 1.5 ATP. Okay, now, so we already have talked about this. We have already answered 2 questions. Now let me give you a glimpse of 3rd question. So this very enzyme, this is actually inducible by 450 enzyme, P53 protein. And you know P53 protein is a policeman of cell. If this protein concentration increases when cell is under stress, when there is damage to cell, there is damage to genetic material of cell, there is mutation in genetic DNA, then this P53 will express, and expression of this P53 will increase the concentration of this proline dehydrogenase inside mitochondria. And now this proline dehydrogenase, what will it do? It will convert more proline into P5C, and thereby releasing more electron, and more electron means more free radical. More free radical is linked to apoptosis. This is the 3rd part of. We will see this answer to this question again. We will explain more this, how this enzyme is linked to apoptosis. Now let me answer this 4th question. So 4th question, during metabolic stress, what is happening is this same reaction, this step, conversion of proline to 5 P5C, and this P5C back to proline. This cycle is utilized to actually shuttle this proton from cytosol to mitochondria. How? Let's talk how. So let me talk about this cycle first. So this proline cycle is the cycle. What will happen? This very reaction, it is happening inside mitochondria. So this proline will from in mitochondria. From this proline, electron will be extracted, and after extraction of this proline, this electron from this proline, the proline will become P5C, pyrroline 5 carboxylate. Now pyrroline 5 carboxylate will come into cytosol, and in cytosol what does it do? It will reduce back to proline by utilizing this NADPH, and NADPH will convert into NADP plus. And remember, this NADPH is actually it is utilized for reductive biosynthesis. It is produced from pentose phosphate pathway. Will produce this pentose phosphate pathway produce this. It is utilized for reductive biosynthesis, means synthesis of lipids and other molecules. But what will happen is during metabolic stress condition, there is lack of energy, and this NADPH will ultimately will produce energy. And see, when there is high amount of NADPH, there will not be high activity of pentose phosphate, because pentose phosphate pathway will have less availability of NADP plus. But when this NADPH converts into NADP, pentose phosphate pathway will also be stimulated. So here, because of this proline cycle actually is stimulating pentose phosphate pathway, and this pentose phosphate pathway, this very pentose phosphate pathway, in other words, is utilized to extract energy, to produce energy. How? Because this reducing equivalent, actually this reducing equivalent through proline, it will enter mitochondria and inside mitochondria, the same reducing equivalent will produce energy. So this is how NADPH will transform into energy by utilizing this proline cycle. So proline, this converted the proline 5 carboxylate that is being converted from proline after extraction of energy will enter the cytosols. In cytosol, it will reduce back to proline. It will accept electron from this NADPH, and then again this proline will carry this electron with itself, and it will enter mitochondria, and in mitochondria again electron will be extracted and it will produce energy. And this very mechanism utilized to transfer electron from this NADPH to mitochondria, and this is how energy is produced. This very important cycle is called proline cycle. So this goes on and on and on during metabolic stress condition. Therefore, this proline catabolism, though this reaction is two-step process, and this first step is very important. And rather than main significance of this proline catabolism is apoptosis and this proline cycle, rather than producing glucose. So glucose is also production will be there, but this is more relevant. This is more important work of proline. Now we have already answered 4 questions. First question is how it produces energy here, and then second question how it converts into glucose. Third question how it is linked to apoptosis, and fourth question what is proline cycle, how does this proline carry reducing equivalent from cytosol to mitochondria during metabolic stress condition. If you can see this pathway, so this is pathway of catabolism here. You can see this is pathway of catabolism, two-step process. First and second is pathway of catabolism. And if you can see this same pathway, this is reversible pathway, and this glutamate is being converted into this glutamate semialdehyde and ultimately into proline. If you can see this pathway, so here the first enzyme is proline dehydrogenase. Here the last enzyme is proline P5 pyrroline 5 carboxylate reductase. So this pathway, this upward reaction is actually reaction of proline synthesis also. So proline is synthesized by this fashion, and I told you not to focus on this pathway. If you can see this 3 reaction, if you can see what will happen, this is non-enzymatic reaction. So P5C by addition of water, so it will break into, by hydrolysis it will easily break into GST, glutamate semialdehyde. This can easily convert into glutamate semialdehyde here. And this glutamate semialdehyde, I have written the same molecule in carbon. So this carbon is this carbon, and this part is this part. So this is glutamate semialdehyde, and glutamate semialdehyde will convert into glutamate. An opposite reaction is also true. So this glutamate will also convert into GST, and this is glutamate semialdehyde. Glutamate semialdehyde through non-enzymatic process, it will easily convert into pyrroline 5-carboxylase. Now this pyrroline 5-carboxylate will convert into proline through this enzyme in cytosol, pyrroline 5-carboxylase reductase. So now this is the same pathway, is also this pathway for synthesis of. Now let me explain this third question. This question, how this proline dehydrogenase or proline oxidase is linked with apoptosis. Let me talk about this proline dependent apoptosis. So proline dependent apoptosis, what we have already seen, this enzyme proline oxidase or proline dehydrogenase will produce electron. So what will happen during stressful condition? This proline dehydrogenase enzyme will be induced by protein p53, because during stressful condition, when there is very high stress in cell because of damage to DNA and some other part of molecule, so what will happen is this p53 will induce this molecule. Because of this, there will be more production of electron, there will be more extraction of electron from this proline to coenzyme Q, and this electron from coenzyme Q will be transferred to oxygen. And if there is high amount of electron to oxygen, so what will happen is formation of peroxide free radical, superoxide and peroxide free radical. This superoxide free radical and peroxide free radical will, what does it cause? It cause damage to mitochondria. It will cause very high damage to mitochondria, and we know this. When the mitochondria is damaged, what will happen is this cytochrome C will leak out of mitochondria, and it will stimulate intrinsic pathway of apoptosis. And this reactive oxygen species also inhibit this kinase MEK, ERK. This MEK is mitogen activated kinase. These are kinases. So this pathway is linked to division of cell. So this reactive oxygen species also stop the division of cell, and then it will stimulate apoptosis through leakage in mitochondria, outer membrane of mitochondria, and cytochrome C is present here. So cytochrome C will ooze out of this, and there will be formation of this apoptoson, and then intrinsic pathway will be activated through caspase C, and extrinsic pathway will also be activated by this electron to certain by activation of this caspase A. So this is how the proline is linked to production of electron and free radical, and free radical will ultimately is responsible for apoptosis. This is how proline is responsible for apoptosis. So with this, I would like to end my lecture. So thank you for watching. Do subscribe this channel, like this video, and press the bell button so that you will get notification. And if you have any query or questions, put your question in the comment box below. Thank you.